It's Monday, October 27th.
Raring to go. Varsho will pop it up for Muncy. This should do it. And it will. The Dodgers.
The Toronto Blue Jays head to Los Angeles for Game 3 tonight, tied at 1 win each.
Police in Paris have made arrests in the brazen daylight heist at the world's most visited museum.
This league's ever seen in a season. And tonight!
And Atletico Ottawa heads to the championship after a huge win on Sunday. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now. Good morning. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and Will is off for today. And welcome back, Rosie. So great to have you back.
So great to be back.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. On a bit of an assignment,
Yes.
Melissa.
Okay. Tell us, can you give us a few details or a little hint on where you were on assignment? Because we were teasing last week that
Right.
you were somewhere very nice and very fun.
Yes, very fun, very beautiful. And if you go to my Instagram,
Okay.
Rosie Edda, I dropped a few hints here and there.
Ah.
So you can check it out there. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying check out my Instagram. And
Yeah,
you
I
might
will
get a
say
few
the
hints.
weather there looks very different than the weather here.
Yes, exactly. I noticed that we're a bit on the chilly side.
It is, yeah, unfortunately. And unfortunately, our forecast for Halloween not looking so good at this point. I'll give you the full details in a few minutes.
Okay, we're going to get to today's top stories. Mark Carney is responding for the first time after U.S. President Donald Trump increased existing tariffs on Canada by 10%. Prime Minister Carney echoed similar remarks after Trump abruptly ended trade talks with Canada, and government sources says the two leaders have not yet spoken.
The government of Canada stands ready to build on the progress that we had been making in our negotiations, our discussions with our American counterparts. It is the sole responsibility of the government of Canada to have those discussions.
Carney spoke while he was at the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Leaders Summit in Malaysia on Thursday. Trump abruptly cut off trade talks with Canada, citing the ad features clips of former President Ronald Reagan talking about tariffs. In turn, Ontario Premier Doug Ford spoke with Carney before he left for Malaysia and announced a plan to pull the ads after the weekend. The Ford government says they are not proceeding with a proposal that could have made it easier for landlords to end leases. A statement released Sunday afternoon from Rob Flack, Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, reads in part, residents expect stability and predictability in Ontario's rental market, and now is not the time to consider changes to the system. As such, we have decided not to proceed with consultations on potential changes to month-to-month leases.
The Bank of Canada will be deciding on whether to cut interest rates later this week. A recent poll of economists found they expect the bank to reduce its overnight rate by 25 basis points on Wednesday. If that happens, it would be the second consecutive cut by the central bank. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem recently said the central bank would place more emphasis on potential risks in its upcoming decision.
The Blue Jays are in Los Angeles for Game 3 of the World Series tonight after a tough 5-1 loss to the Dodgers, tying up the series 1-1.
Raring to go. Varsho will pop it up for Muncy. This should do it. And it will. The Dodgers.
Joe Carter returned to the Rogers Center to throw out the first ceremonial pitch in Game 2 of the World Series. As Carter walked off the field, he received a big ovation from the crowd as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. slipped Carter the Jays' run jacket. Game 3 is set for today, just after 8 p.m. at Dodger Stadium. A house fire in the East End is under investigation after a neighbor jumped into action to warn its residents. Ottawa Fire Services says crews were called out to the 1700 block of Belcourt Boulevard Sunday morning. It took just over an hour and a half to contain the fire, and the cause of the fire is now under investigation. No injuries have been reported, thanks in large part to fast action by a neighbor.
Police in France have made 2 arrests in connection with the brazen daylight heist of crown jewels from the Louvre Museum in Paris. One of the men was arrested north of Paris Saturday night as he was preparing to board a flight to leave the country. Another was arrested later in the evening, the Saint Denis suburb north of Paris. Thieves stole 8 pieces estimated to be worth over $100 million from the Louvre's collection on October 19th. Hurricane Melissa rapidly strengthened to a Category 5 storm barreling through the Caribbean.
It now seems virtually certain that the core of a powerful hurricane is going to move over Jamaica on a Tuesday.
And satellite images show the eye of Melissa near Cuba with winds reaching 220 kilometers per hour. Jamaica is bracing for impact with fears the storm could strengthen by the time it hits, causing flash flooding, storm surges, and landslides.
Canadians will soon have to be photographed when entering and exiting the U.S., according to new rules from the Department of Homeland Security. The new condition will apply to travelers no matter how they cross, whether it's by land, air, or through a port. It's part of a move to collect biometric data introduced several years ago. No word yet on when this would be rolled out.
In Canadian Premier League playoffs, Atletico Ottawa kicked off against top team Hamilton Force FC in a showdown for the right to play for the North Star
This league's
Cup.
ever seen in a season. And to Okay, Gabby!
Gabriel Antonoro ties it up for Atletico with this fantastic run and strike. Then, in the second half, Sam Salter, the season's Golden Boot winner, gets the go-ahead goal for Ottawa, and Atletico hangs on to advance to the CPL final for the second time in club history. That means Ottawa will host the CPL final at TD Place Stadium on November 9th. That is fantastic.
Incredible. We were so lucky to have a few of the players in last week before heading to this big game, and they talked about, you know, this would be a tough one for them, but if they can manage to pull up the win, a big, great game at TD Place, which congratulations to everybody. So excited.
Very, very exciting indeed. Good news all around. Can't wait to see them in that final in November, which is really just around the corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially as we feel it early this morning.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite chilly to start off your morning, unfortunately. Temps fluctuating. So we were sitting at 0, honestly, just about half an hour ago. Now we're sitting at -1. So it is a cool start to your morning, seeing temperatures below that freezing mark. You'll see some frost on your windshields to start off your day, and temperatures really cool across most of the region, -3 in Kingston, Trenton as well. So in our skies, nice and clear for today. We will get to see some sunshine. We just have to get through the next few hours this morning when temperatures will be, you know, a little bit chilly to start off your Monday morning as we sift through our closet. Definitely sweater weather today. We also maybe need a little bit of a toque to start off your morning because it is quite cool out there, but you could still wear sneakers, which is great news. 10 degrees is your daytime high for today, so that's very seasonal for this time of the year. Seasonal conditions throughout the region, 10 for Trenton, Kingston. Everybody getting to see this sunshine to start off their Monday morning, so it's a beautiful start to your week. Of course, we would like to see this sunshine as we head towards the end of the work week. Unfortunately, not going to be the case. It's looking a little bit soggy towards the end of the work week, so we will see that sunshine over the next few days. Temperatures average for today and a little bit above Tuesday and through Wednesday, but those overnight lows below the freezing mark over the next few nights. The good news is it will be a little bit milder Halloween into the overnight, but wet as well. So we're expecting some scattered showers Thursday and through Friday. At this point on Halloween, we could see about 5 to 10 millimeters of rain. So hopefully you can make your costume, you know, be prepared for some wet elements because it might be a little bit soggy as we head into the weekend. Still a chance of those scattered showers. Overnight lows, though, not nearly as cold Thursday in through the weekend. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic, and things are smooth sailing. No issues east to west. Traffic is looking nice and easy this hour. Now here's your TSN must-see moment.
Hello there, Jermaine Franklin with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. For that, we'll head to Foxborough for this one. Browns, Patriots, third quarter, Dylan Gabriel steps out the pocket and goes deep But check out Jalen Hawkins. He comes up big, making an incredible one-handed catch for the interception. That's a second pick of the season, and it comes in style for Hawkins and the Pats. And he earns your must-see moment from Sunday. Tonight on TSN, Week 8 of the NFL season wraps up with Monday Night Football as the Commanders visit the Chiefs. It all starts at 5 p.m. Central across the network. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
Coming up next, combating theft as Canadians feel the pinch. A small grocery store in Eastern Ontario says their bottom line is being impacted by an increase in shoplifting. More on that story when we come back. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back.
Tamarack Ottawa Race Weekend returns May 23rd and 24th, and it's never too early to join Canada's biggest running celebration. From the full and the half marathons to the 10K, the 5K, and the 2K, there's a distance for everyone. Register early to save on fees, jumpstart your training, and get ahead on fundraising in the Desjardins Charity Challenge. Join thousands at the start line and be a part of something amazing. Visit runottawa.ca for more information.
Are you tired of being tired? Join us for Sleep Week, where we'll break down the top ways to get your best rest and help you wake up feeling refreshed.
Sleep Week on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. All next week. Brought to you in part by Ontario's Sleep Care.
CTV Ottawa is your home for local news.
Katie Griffin, CTV News in the Byward Market.
Centertown.
Canada.
Stittsville, bringing you local stories that matter the most to you.
Kimberly Fowler in Westboro.
Orleans. Barhaven.
From every corner of the community.
In the Glebe.
Manotick.
Merrickville.
Brockville. From the team you trust, we are CTV News Ottawa.
Live, local, breaking news. CTV News Ottawa.
Welcome back. Here are the big stories we are following today on Your Morning Ottawa. Prime Minister Mark Carney is responding after U.S. President Donald Trump increased existing tariffs on Canada by 10%. Blue Jays in L.A. to take on the Dodgers with the series tied at 1-1. Max Scherzer to start for the Jays. And means Ottawa will host the CPL final at TD Place Stadium on November 9th. And now we're taking a look at your forecast. It's going to be a great looking day, mainly sunny this morning into the afternoon. But yes, it is going to be a cool start to the day. We should be hovering right around that freezing mark for another few hours, then getting up to 10 degrees, which is just about seasonal. Clear tonight and to the evening down to 4 degrees. Why don't we take a look now at your traffic? And right now, here we are, 6:15 Monday morning. No major slowdowns on the roads at this hour. A small-town grocery chain in Eastern Ontario is doing what it can to crack down on theft. Mike Dean, local grocer, says they are seeing more shoplifting than ever before. And as CTV's Josh Morano tells us, that's having a notable impact on their bottom line.
The absolute vast majority. It's been a rough few months for Gordon Dean, owner of Mike Dean Local Grocer. In the last 3 to 6 months, there's been a big uptake, big increase in the amount of organized theft in our little small town stores, which is why we're having to make some changes. Thousands of dollars worth of goods stolen each week from store shelves. Full baskets or large chunks of meat or cheese, which is 15, 20, 30 packages in an organized fashion being put into somebody's bags or put into somebody's outfitted coat with extra pockets and walking directly out the door. In response, the Dean family is increasing their security measures. We're not making these changes because we want to be like Walmart or Costco in the big city. That's entirely not us. We're making these changes because there's too many problems in these little towns that need to be addressed, and we're going to take some steps forward to address them. The family-owned stores have locations in small, rural communities in Ontario and Quebec. Dean says their store in Charlotte Lake has installed alarmed one-way traffic barriers at the store entrance in an attempt to reduce thefts.
Well, it's sad. I've just been there now, and the lady was showing where they're putting these gates, and never had to deal with that kind of thing before.
Even with cameras here, I don't know if it's going to do anything. They'll still get in. They'll still heist. They'll still do it.
Dean adds they are working closely with local police, but there's not much else staff can do if they encounter a shoplifter.
We can see it on all of our hundreds of cameras. We can issue a trespass notice to the individual, and then they come back the next day, and they come back the next day. It's the repetitiveness of what we can't accept.
Josh Morano, CTV News.
It is going to be a beautiful looking day today. Just a little bit on the cool side to start off, and then temperatures rising, yes, to the double digits. That is a good thing, 10 degrees. Normally, we should see a high of 9 around this time of year, so that's good that we'll get up to 10 degrees. So just keep that in mind, getting the kiddos ready for school. You want to layer them up because it is a bit chilly out there, but then it gets quite nice into the afternoon. And then tonight, if you still have a few hardy plants out there that you think you might want to cover up, it looks like we're going to go below the freezing mark, so it's going to be another chilly night tonight. More of the same expected for us on to Tuesday. Beautiful sunshine. Once again, getting up into the double digits, just barely 11 degrees on Tuesday. And then on to Wednesday, looking beautiful, sunny sky. And get this, we're expecting a high of 12 degrees on Wednesday. But then, as Melissa mentioned, as we look toward the end of the week and Halloween on Friday, Melissa,
I know.
What's it looking like?
So soggy, unfortunately. I know we keep a very close eye on Halloween every year. Last year was like above seasonal. It was warm. It was beautiful. This year, it's looking cool, not quite as cool as the beginning of the work week, and soggy. So we are expecting some rain. Fingers crossed. It could change. It's still very early. However, I say it's always better to plan ahead, and right now it's looking wet, so try and makeshift your costume to deal with the wet elements, perhaps, or an umbrella. I know.
That's funny. Your child, it'll be like they have an entourage, and you'll be, you'll have an umbrella over them while they're walking.
A rain jacket over their costume, which I hate to do, but sometimes you just have no choice, right?
All right, thanks for that, Melissa. Industry leaders say they are disappointed with the additional 10% tariff on Canadian goods announced Saturday by U.S. President Donald Trump. Right now, there is a 35% tariff on Canadian imports, non-compliant with the Canadian-U.S.-Mexico agreement, and 25 to 50% on various products, including steel, aluminum, copper, softwood lumber, and automobiles. Why don't we bring in right now Bill Carroll for this, to talk about this on this Monday morning. Really tough news to wake up to. I know that that announcement was made official on Saturday. President Trump said that he was imposing an additional 10% tariffs, and here we are on Monday. Bill.
Yeah, I mean, I took a couple of days off, and in the time I've been gone, so much has happened on this trade front with Ontario running those Ronald Reagan ads in the U.S. It just infuriated Donald Trump. And this tells you everything that makes this situation so difficult. I mean, how do you deal with a man who gets angry with Ontario and so punishes his own people by raising taxes? Because that's what's happening, right? That's what he's done. He's lashing out at his own people by making them pay more taxes on things that come from Canada. Now, this hurts our economy as well because it makes our products more expensive and so less attractive, and that could mean we sell fewer products. And I think Americans are starting to really realize that they are paying the price. I mean, behind the scenes, a lot of people, even Republicans, are grumbling about what's going on with the U.S. economy and prices going up. Their inflation numbers, for example, delayed by their government shutdown, finally came out late last week. And they're not as bad as they could have been, but inflation is certainly heading in the wrong direction there. So this is why I think we're down to, we have to fight back. I mean, I think Doug Ford, the premier, did the right thing by reminding Americans that not every Republican, that someone as beloved as Ronald Reagan, not every Republican believes that tariffs are good for the economy in the long run. We have to wait this out. I think this is where we're stuck. We have to wait it out and let Americans figure out on their own that it's not working for them, that they're the ones paying the price. Only that can motivate the U.S. president to back down in this case. I don't think there's anything we can do. Meantime, our country is fragmenting. You have the Prime Minister furious now with some of the premiers, reminding them that he's in charge of these negotiations, although right now negotiations look more like backing down, look more like surrendering. So we're starting to fragment as a country here. We're losing our leadership. We're losing our focus on this, and we have to be in it for the long run, because the only way we win this is when Americans stand up to their own president. There's nothing else we can do.
Thank you for that, Bill.
You guys have a good week.
You too. Remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFR 8 weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, cutting back on screen time. We take your comments on how to reduce your screen time. And Ashley and Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94 tell us what they do to reduce theirs. We'll have all of that and more coming up. Here's a live look for a sky cam on George Street this morning. A cold start to your day. Temps right now sitting at -1 to start off your Monday morning.
Coming up later in the 7 o'clock hour, Ashley and Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94 are joining us to talk screen time and some tricks for trying to reduce yours. So today we are taking your comments on how you reduce your screen time. Let us know. Your Morning Ottawa at ctv.ca.
Oh, it's such a tough one. You know, screen time is something that always gets me. And I hate when you get the little reminder at the end of the week, like your screen time was up 15 hours or 2% or whatever it is. And you're like, oh, really? Did I go that much over this week? But then I think it kind of resets you for the week after and trying to reduce your screen time. It was actually one of my New Year's resolution to put down the phone and be more engaged with my kids and my family at home. So I feel like I started off so strong, and then I kind of started seeing those screen time reminders and fallen off the bandwagon, but there's still time to reset.
That's true. Okay, well, the phones, I mean, I do everything I can. It's just like put it far away from me. I think that the actual physical distance helps, but it's very, very alluring. It's really hard. All right, we're going to be hearing from you later in the show. We're asking, how do you reduce your screen time? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, smile. You're on Homeland Security's camera. The United States is getting ready to roll out a program requiring all non-U.S. citizens to be photographed while entering and leaving America. We're going to tell you more about the controversial plans coming up. And we're going to be right back in just the next couple of minutes. It is 6:27. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and Will is off for today, but Rosie is back, so it's so great to have you back.
I'm very, very happy to be back. It's wonderful. Yeah, we'll see Will tomorrow.
That's right.
We got to talk about what's happening today here, but first off, it's a little bit cool out there. Just want people to know, just below the freezing mark?
Below the freezing mark to start off your morning. So unfortunately, it is a little chilly, but I'll have your full forecast details, including what to expect for Halloween, which is looking a little wet at this point.
All right, we're going to get to today's top stories for you right now. Prime Minister Mark Carney is responding for the first time after U.S. President Donald Trump increased existing tariffs on Canada by 10%. And government sources say the two leaders have not yet spoken.
The government of Canada stands ready to build on the progress that we had been making in our negotiations, our discussions with our American counterparts. It is the sole responsibility of the government of Canada to have those discussions.
Carney spoke while he was at the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Leaders Summit in Malaysia on Thursday. Trump abruptly cut off trade talks with Canada, citing a Government of Ontario ad that features clips of former President Ronald Reagan speaking negatively about tariffs. Ontario Premier Doug Ford spoke with Carney before he left for Malaysia and announced a plan to pull the ads after the weekend. The Ford government says they are not proceeding with a proposal that could have made it easier for landlords to end leases. A statement released Sunday afternoon from Rob Flack, Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, reads in part, residents expect stability and predictability in Ontario's rental market, and now is not the time to consider changes to the system. As such, we have decided not to proceed with consultations on potential changes to month-to-month leases.
The Bank of Canada will be deciding on whether to cut interest rates later this week. A recent poll of economists found they expect the bank to reduce its overnight rate by 25 basis points on Wednesday. If that happens, it would be the second consecutive cut by the central bank. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem recently said the central bank would place more emphasis on potential risks in the upcoming decision.
The Blue Jays are in Los Angeles for Game 3 of the World Series tonight after a tough 5-1 loss to the Dodgers, tying up the series 1-1.
Raring to go. Varsho will pop it up for Muncy. This should do it, and it will. The Dodgers.
Joe Carter returned to the Rogers Centre to throw out the first ceremonial pitch in Game 2 of the World Series. As Carter walked off the field, he received a big ovation from the crowd as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. slipped Carter the Jays' run jacket. Game 3 is set for today, just after 8 p.m. at Dodger Stadium. A house fire in the East End is under investigation after a neighbor jumped into action to warn its residents. Ottawa Fire Services says crews were called out to the 1700 block of Belcourt Boulevard Sunday morning. It took just over an hour and a half to contain the fire, and the cause of the fire is now under investigation. No injuries have been reported, thanks in large part to the fast action by a neighbor.
Police in France have made 2 arrests in connection with the brazen daylight heist of crown jewels from the Louvre Museum in Paris. One of the men was arrested north of Paris Saturday night as he was preparing to board a flight to leave the country. Another was arrested later in the evening in the Saint-Denis suburb north of Paris. Thieves stole 8 pieces estimated to be worth over $100 million from the Louvre's collection on October 19th. And Hurricane Melissa rapidly strengthened to a Category 5 storm barreling through the Caribbean.
It now seems virtually certain that the core of a powerful hurricane is going to move over Jamaica on a Tuesday.
Satellite images show the eye of Melissa near Cuba with winds reaching 220 kilometers per hour. Jamaica is bracing for impact with fears the storms could strengthen by the time it hits, causing flash flooding, storm surges, and landslides.
Canadians will soon have to be photographed when entering and exiting the U.S., according to new rules from the Department of Homeland Security. The new condition will apply to travelers no matter how they cross, whether it's by land, air, or through a port. It's part of a move to collect biometric data introduced several years ago. No word yet on when this would be rolled out.
And Nick Cousins gets his first goal of the season as the Sens took on the Washington Capitals.
Get it back to Ovechkin, broken up, and it's a breakaway. Nick Cousins in alone, scores!
The offense was firing on all cylinders, scoring 7 goals. Tempers boiled over at the end of the second, with the goalies even getting into the mix to no avail. 7-1 is your final score. The Sens play today at home against the Boston Bruins. You know it's going to be a good one.
It's nice to see them kind of flip the switch a little bit because they won the first game of the season and then they kind of went on this downslide of losing. But now it seems they've picked up their winning ways.
A little momentum, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The good thing about hockey is like such a long season that, you know, there's lots of time to make up for a slower start.
We are being spoiled, all the sports fans. You got your hockey right now and your baseball and some soccer happening in the finals in November. So this is great all around.
Absolutely. And the 67s also started their season. So
I knew I was going to miss somebody.
Yes, it's so hard because there's so many sports teams now here in the city. A cool and sunny start to your day. This afternoon we will see more sunshine, and then towards the work week, it will be unfortunately a little bit wet as we head towards the middle end of the work week. Yes, that means Halloween. Temps right now sitting at -1 to start off your morning, so it is a bit of a cold start to your day, so keep that in mind before heading outdoors. Similar temps throughout the region, -3 for Kingston as well as in Trenton, 3 degrees over in Montreal. So nice and clear to start things off. Some areas seeing a few, lower lying areas are seeing a few fog patches to start off your morning. For the most part, though, we will see clear skies this morning, more sunshine on the way into the afternoon. No rain in sight for us over the next couple of days. We're going to start to see some spotty showers as we head into Thursday. Then as we head into Friday, it is unfortunately looking a little bit wet. So enjoy the start of your work week when we will see sunshine and fairly average temps. 10 degrees is the high this afternoon. Average for this time of the year, 9.9 is where temps should be sitting. So we're sitting right around there into your day ahead. Similar in Kempville, sitting at 10 degrees. Brockville, Kingston, 8 degrees is the high out in the valley into your afternoon. So slightly cooler out in the valley to start off your day. And over the next 7 days, I know we're all eyeing Halloween. Unfortunately, it is looking a little wet at this point, but it could still change. So keep that in mind. We're going to see sunshine to start off your work week. Temperatures fairly average, a little bit above Tuesday and through Wednesday. However, overnight lows to start things off cold below that freezing mark into our overnights over the next few days. Slightly warmer Thursday and through the weekend as we head into the overnights. However, the daytime highs will shift a little bit and be slightly cooler, and it's looking a little soggy as well. Friday, at this point, we are tracking some rain, and it looks like we could see 5 up to 10 millimeters. So if you can plan for, to protect your costume a little bit from the wet weather, that is probably the best advice. But fingers crossed that it does change.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
And on your roads, no major issues east to west. It is still smooth sailing out there on your Monday morning, and we aren't seeing any major delays on the bridges this morning.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, CTV's Scott Hurst coming up to tell us more about a controversial plan to photograph non-U.S. citizens upon entry and exit to and from the U.S. That's just ahead. Here's a live look through our Skycam. And it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day into the afternoon. Plenty of sunshine expected. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. Here are the big stories happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. Prime Minister Mark Carney is responding after U.S. President Donald Trump increased existing tariffs on Canada by 10%. The Toronto Blue Jays are in Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers with the World Series tied at 1-1. And Atletico Ottawa will be in the capital in the CPL final at the TD Place Stadium on November 9th.
A cool start to your Monday morning. Temps right now sitting at -1 to start things off. It is nice and clear out there to start off your day. 10 degrees is the high later on this afternoon. Overnight dropping to -2, so quite cool into the overnight over the next couple of days. Beautiful sunshine to start off your work week. More of that on the way Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperatures slightly above seasonal with highs of 11 and 12 degrees, but those overnight lows below the freezing mark over the next few days. On your roads, still seeing light volume out there on your drive in. Nothing major to report. Bridges coming in from Gatineau are still looking nice and easy this hour. The great news is we are collision free.
The United States is expanding its facial biometrics program with the goal of collecting images of non-U.S. citizens at entry and exit points at all airports, seaports, and land borders. The program is expected to be rolled out sometime next year. CTV News correspondent Scott Hurst joins us with more on this story. Good morning to you, Scott.
Good morning, Rosie.
Okay, so Scott, why does the U.S. government want to take facial photographs of Canadians entering and exiting their borders?
So, Rosie, of course, say heads up to Canadian travelers, or any traveler for that matter. If you're heading to the U.S., heading south of the border, you might notice you may be required to provide some additional information, including being photographed, as you mentioned, at all entry and exit points as well. With new proposed rules, officially set to take effect the day after Christmas this year, December 26th. Now, the Department of Homeland Security says it will require all immigrants and non-citizens to be photographed when entering and leaving the United States under new regulations that were just announced on Friday. According to the requirements, Customs and Border Patrol plans to ultimately have a biometric entry and exit system at all air, sea, and land ports of entry. Now, the official reasoning points to national security interests. By collecting entry data on entry and departure, it helps, according to the documents, address concerns of terrorism, fraudulent use of travel documents, overstaying visas, or if someone has entered the U.S. illegally. Now, according to the requirements, Customs and Border Patrol plans to ultimately have this biometric entry and exit system up and running, as I mentioned, at all air, sea, and land ports within the next 3 to 5 years. So some places might not have them set up, of course, right away, Rosie.
Is the U.S. alone in this type of biometric surveillance, Scott?
Well, so this is an expansion from what the U.S. already is able to do, expansion of what's already been taking place, mostly at U.S. airports. The Department of Homeland Security, through Border Patrol, has been able to collect, has had the capability of collecting biometric data, photographs, and fingerprints from travelers since 2004. However, according to government information, there's no comprehensive system in place to collect biometrics from people leaving the country. So for the U.S. in particular, this is a significant expansion, but the U.S. is far from alone. Canadian border agents use biometric data at checkpoints for travelers entering the country, and in the European Union, it's in the process of fully implementing a new entry and exit system that requires the use of biometric data as well. Of course, there are privacy concerns, Rosie, and also particularly at this time in the United States, it's part of a larger push by the Trump administration to crack down on illegal immigration.
Scott Hurst from CTV News. Thank you very much for that, Scott.
Thanks, Rosie.
And coming up a little bit later in the 7 o'clock hour, Ashley and Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94 are going to be joining us to talk screen time and some tricks to try and reduce yours.
So today we asked for your comments on how do you reduce your screen time? Here's what you had to say. Elaine says, I can't decrease my screen time. My computer is a necessity for my job. I guess my downtime is when I sleep.
Yes, I feel ya. Richard says, very easy. Switch to a nice book, chess game, cards, or exercises. Great tips.
I want to hang out with Richard. I love that. That is fantastic. Thank you for that. We'll keep the conversation going here. How do you reduce your screen time? It is not an easy thing to do for many people, and we want some tips and tricks. So we're asking you, how do you reduce your screen time? Let us know. Send us your comment at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
And coming up, love is in the air for a former Canadian Prime Minister and a pop star. We'll tell you more about what this new couple got up to this weekend when we bring you your morning fix. Here's a live look for our sky cam on George Street this morning. Clear skies to start off your Monday, but cold out there this morning. We're already sitting at -1 with a high of 10 and sunshine into the afternoon. And it is time for your morning fix, and former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has made things official with pop star Katy Perry. So the two stepped out hand in hand in Paris over the weekend, basically confirming their long-rumored romance. Reports say the two were out celebrating Katy's 45th birthday. Trudeau was also spotted at her Lifetime tour stop in Paris. Both parties went through high-profile separations this year. Of course, Perry from her former fiancé Orlando Bloom, and Trudeau from his ex-wife Sophie Gregoire. So, you know, love is in the air.
Yeah, I mean, we're showing them separate here, but there is video of them clearly
online
together, standing, holding hands.
Oh, yeah.
They are a couple. They're not trying to hide it. And you know what? Good on them.
Yeah, because all the other pics were like, you know, paparazzis or shots of people getting when they thought they were maybe in the private. This was them like holding hands. We are a couple out and about. We know we're going to be photographed walking out together. And like, they're showing off their romance, and they look very happy and proud to be with one another. So, I mean, good for them.
Love is love.
Absolutely. Well, it's not quite November yet, but Mont Tremblant got a little taste of winter this weekend. Yep, they shared these photos online showing some visitors hiking through snow. The mountain saw some flurries on Saturday, the first snowfall there of the season.
Magical.
It is coming. I'm always excited when it snows in Mont Tremblant, being a ski resort and all, but then I know it's just a matter of time before we start seeing that here locally too.
And some people go, this is awesome, keep it there.
Yeah.
Don't let it come into the city.
Right? If only. But yeah, we know it's coming.
Yeah.
And it's that like reminder, winter tires, got to get those on very quickly.
Tires coming up soon, yeah.
And the annual Halloween Corgi Parade took over a stretch of Spark Street on Sunday afternoon.
Gosh.
Okay, why are corgis just so cute? I don't know, they're so adorable. Well, dozens of people and their four-legged friends strutted their stuff down on Spark Street, wrapping up the Confederation Square for photos. The dogs dressed in their best Halloween attire. These corgis may be low to the ground, but their fashion and sense of style is through the roof.
I love it.
Right?
Oh, it's making me smile, Melissa. I love this.
I think it's their short legs that make them so sweet, right? Like
they just waddle.
Yeah,
right?
they do.
They don't really walk, they waddle, and they seem quite happy. And look at them, just posing for the camera. Look at that. I love the ones with the wings.
The wing. And they look like they flutter as well.
Yeah.
So adorable. A taco.
A taco corgi.
So cute.
Very nice indeed. Okay, coming up on the next hour, we are trying our hands at some easy Halloween crafts. Yeah, really easy. Okay, as we begin the countdown to Halloween. Plus, Ashley and Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94 are getting ready to celebrate the holiday season in style with Dallas Smith. And we check in with a lucky Jays fan who got to attend Game 1 of the World Series in Toronto. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Sun's still not up just yet, but when it does wake up, it's going to be a beautiful sunny day. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Hey. CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
Are you tired of being tired? Join us for Sleep Week, where we'll break down the top ways to get your best rest and help you wake up feeling refreshed.
Sleep Week on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. All next week. Brought to you in part by Ontario's Sleep Care.
It's Monday, October 27th.
The Government of Canada stands ready to build on the progress that we had been making in our negotiations, our discussions.
The Prime Minister is reacting to new tariffs from the U.S. president after Donald Trump abruptly pulled the plug on trade talks last week.
This league's ever seen in a season. And
Atletico Ottawa is heading to the CPL final after a huge win on Sunday.
And Ottawa's Pure Country 94 is announcing its annual Christmas concert featuring an acoustic set from Canadian star Dallas Smith. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Happy Monday. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
And I'm Melissa Lamb, and it's so great to have you back. And Will is then off today.
Yes, exactly. Doing a little switcheroo
Absolutely.
here. We're not doing a switcheroo with the weather. It's still quite cool in the morning here. What are we at right now?
We're sitting at -1 right now, so definitely a cold start to your Monday. The good news is sunshine this afternoon. The bad news is rain for Halloween. I will break down all those details coming up in a few minutes.
All right, good on that. We're going to get to today's top stories. Prime Minister Mark Carney is responding for the first time after U.S. President Donald Trump increased existing tariffs on Canada by 10%. And government sources say the two leaders have not yet spoken.
The government of Canada stands ready to build on the progress that we had been making in our negotiations, our discussions with our American counterparts. It is the sole responsibility of the government of Canada to have those discussions.
Carney spoke while he was at the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Leaders Summit in Malaysia. Trump abruptly cut off trade talks with Canada on Thursday, citing a Government of Ontario ad that features clips of former President Ronald Reagan speaking negatively about tariffs. Ontario Premier Doug Ford spoke with Carney before he left for Malaysia and announced a plan to pull the ads after the weekend. The Ford government says they are not proceeding with a proposal that could have made it easier for landlords to end leases. A statement released Sunday afternoon from Rob Flack, Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, reads in part, residents expect stability and predictability in Ontario's rental market, and now is not the time to consider changes to the system. As such, we have decided not to proceed with consultations on potential changes to month-to-month leases.
The Bank of Canada will be deciding on whether to cut interest rates later this week. A recent poll of economists found they expect the bank to reduce its overnight rate by 25 basis points on Wednesday. If that happens, it would be the second consecutive cut by the central bank. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem recently said the central bank would place more emphasis on potential risks in its upcoming decision.
The Blue Jays are in Los Angeles for Game 3 of the World Series tonight after a tough 5-1 loss to the Dodgers, tying up the series 1-1.
Raring to go. Varsha will pop it up for Muncy. This should do it, and it will. The Dodgers.
Joe Carter returned to the Rogers Center to throw out the first ceremonial pitch in Game 2 of the World Series. As Carter walked off the field, he received a big ovation from the crowd as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. slipped Carter the Jays' home run jacket. Game 3 is set for today, just after 8 p.m. at Dodger Stadium. A house fire in the East End is under investigation after a neighbor jumped into action to warn its residents. Ottawa Fire Services says crews were called out to the 1700 block of Belcourt Boulevard Sunday morning. It took just over an hour and a half to contain the fire, and the cause of the fire is now under investigation. No injuries have been reported, thanks in large part to the fast action by a neighbor.
Police in France have made 2 arrests in connection with a brazen daylight heist of crown jewels from the Louvre Museum in Paris. One of the men was arrested north of Paris Saturday night as he was preparing to board a flight to leave the country. Another was arrested later in the evening in the Saint-Denis suburb north of Paris. Thieves stole 8 pieces estimated to be worth over $100 million from the Louvre's collection on October 19th.
Canadians will soon have to be photographed when entering and exiting the U.S., as according to new rules from the Department of Homeland Security. The new condition will apply to travelers no matter how they cross, whether it's by land, air, or through a port. It's part of a move to collect biometric data introduced several years ago. No word yet on when this would be rolled out.
In Canadian Premier League playoffs, Atletico Ottawa kicked off against top team Hamilton Force FC in a showdown for the right to play for the North Star Cup.
This league's ever seen in a season. And okay, Gabby!
Yeah, that was gorgeous. Gabriel Antonoro ties it up for Atletico with this fantastic run and strike. Then, in the second half, Sam Salter, the season's Golden Boot winner, gets the go-ahead goal for Ottawa, and Atletico hangs on to advance to the CPL final for the second time in club history. That means Ottawa will host the CPL final at TD Place Stadium on November 9th.
Incredible.
All smiles here. That was fantastic.
A final in our city. It's going to be epic. Incredible.
What are you thinking? I mean, I know it's not till November 9th, which isn't that far away, but hoping that it'll just be like a crisp afternoon, not too cold.
You know
right?
what? If we continue to sit where we're sitting right now and it's like 11, 12 degrees, but sunny, why not? Perfect fall soccer weather, absolutely. And we do have a weather picture for today that we want to show you. And this is a beautiful picture sent to us from, it was weather picture of the day. It was sent to us of over Chemisnig Lake from Sherry over at Barry's Bay, and it's nature's foggy masterpiece in the valley.
Oh, wow.
Wishing you a lovely day, and a lovely day to you as well, Sherry.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating. Just box me up.
And of course, if you have a picture to send us, please, we would love to showcase it here on the show. All you have to do, email it to us, weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, weathershots@ctv.ca. And in our forecast, it is a bit of a cool start to your morning, but we will be seasonal into the afternoon. So 10 degrees is the high today. As you can see, average is about 9.9 into your day ahead. Not record breaking. The sun will be up shortly at around 7:35 a.m. and will set before 6 o'clock tonight. It will set at 5:56 p.m. So a very short day in the forecast for us. Cool start to your morning across the region. It's -3 in Trenton, Kingston, -2 over in Cornwall. Only warm places, Montreal, to start off your morning. Temps currently not registering out in the valley, but also cold to start off your day, sitting around -2. Into our afternoon, daytime high is 10 degrees is the high for us in Ottawa today. Similar temps throughout the region, same along the Seaway and down in Kingston. 8 degrees for your high in Pembroke. So nice and clear and lots of sunshine this morning into the afternoon. Of course, most Tremblant already starting to see some snow. They saw some flurries into the weekend. For us here in Ottawa, no flurries in the forecast quite yet. Temperatures sitting around that freezing mark to start off your day. So if you are heading out for the school bus, keep in mind it is a cold start. You definitely need a jacket today, maybe even some mittens to keep your hands warm. Into the afternoon, beautiful sunny skies. 10 degrees is the high, 11 for tomorrow, 12 on Wednesday. The overnight lows over the next few days, a little bit cold and below that freezing mark, but it will warm up overnight and towards the end of the work week, but our daytime highs will be slightly cooler and a chance of scattered showers from Thursday in through the weekend. At this point, Halloween, it's looking like we could see 5 up to 10 millimeters of rain.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating 80 years in family business.
And volume is starting to pick up out there. We're starting to see some congestion form on the 417 eastbound from Richmond Road all the way to Island Park. So we're starting to see some slowdowns this morning. It's also heavy. St. Joseph westbound is closed between 10th Line Road and Preston Street due to a broken water main this morning. Well, get ready to get spooky and creative as we welcome you to our Halloween DIY craft challenge. And whether you're a seasoned crafter or just looking to add a little touch of DIY magic to your Halloween, we have some fun ideas for you.
Here is how it will go, and we have to welcome Steve Renfro. He is part of our behind-the-scenes team. He is just so kindly offered his crafting expertise. Yes, exactly, for this challenge here. So here's how it's going to go.
Okay.
Each of us has a craft to make before the time runs out.
Oh.
Okay. And we're going to make it done here, and we're so glad that Steve Renfro is going to help us out here because filling in for Will. Really appreciate that. So do we have some pictures to talk about how this is going to go here? Maybe we can show what each craft.
Okay,
oh, there's
so
the first one.
Mine.
Melissa.
I have this. That's meticulous. Not gonna lie. That's some work cut out for me.
A scary skeleton that you have made out of paper. Okay. And now the second one. Woo! A mummy.
A mummy.
Right. Okay. And then the next one. Oh,
cute.
A spider web made out of a, garbage bag, right? So we're going to get this done here. There you go, Melissa.
So we're all
and you feeling pretty confident about this, Stephen? And
they don't normally let me play with scissors. So.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess you got to have like a pattern going here, a pattern thought out. And I think I have the easiest one, but oh boy. I really hope
they didn't
I
make
don't
me a neck,
mess
so I have to
it
make
up.
myself a little neck.
Oh, okay. You're the The bones aren't long enough.
The bones aren't
here?
long enough.
Okay.
I didn't have a neck, so we'll attach
All
some
right.
of these in.
Okay.
But this is fun to do.
This is fun, but it's going to be scary when we finish.
Absolutely.
Right? We're going to have some...
I'm really worried I'm about to make a snowflake and not a spider web.
I know, right? And you know,
Snowflake
not yet.
spider
Right?
Not yet. Well, I
Not
hope
yet.
not.
Snowflakes are coming,
Okay.
but not just yet. There you go. Okay. Oh my goodness. Do you think the best way to do this is just to really rush through it, Melissa, for me here?
Yeah, you know, I didn't really...
Hey, he's trying to cut my yarn. No! No,
The
sabotage.
problem is I don't remember really what they looked like, so now I'm just
that was
trying
fast,
to...
wasn't it?
It was a fast
Okay.
photo. Woo.
Okay, guys, we've got about 2.5 more minutes left.
Okay.
And so we really got to
speed up here.
Bring this. Oh, wow. I have to bring it over the head, too. I just realized that. Okay. All right. Okay. Come on, Rosie.
How's it going,
Let's get
Rosie?
it going. Well, it's looking...
That looks fun, though, to
is-
wrap it.
It is kind of fun. It is kind of therapeutic, actually.
Yeah, I bet.
Creating a
Okay.
little bit of a pattern here. And over. Okay. Over the head. Oh, my goodness.
I didn't really...
How are you doing?
I'm like at the end here.
Do you have strategy here?
No. No.
Stephen? No?
not at all.
Oh,
Just
man.
hoping.
That it
Winging
comes
a,
out.
Yeah, like I actually have
Oh,
no idea what it's
man.
gonna look like. I think I'm
Right.
supposed to like clip the top of this too somehow. So I'm just gonna.
Okay. Like you said, you're hoping that it
I'm
doesn't
just
turn
gonna
out
do,
to
like,
be a snowflake.
It could turn into a snowflake, which
Okay.
is fine because like then I'm just really prepared for a few months from now.
Yeah.
You know
okay,
what?
then you just save
Exactly.
it. That's so
Yeah,
true.
that's- I mean, yeah, everybody loves a black snowflake, right?
Snowflake
go.
season
Yeah.
is
Okay. What do you think?
Saturday.
Is this gonna work?
Okay. Oh, man, you got to
Okay,
do the big
I'm doing a big
reveal in a
reveal here.
second here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm just laughing because I'm
I
like,
have no idea. It's like sort
Yeah,
of.
that's
it's,
okay.
It's very.
That's okay.
It's kind of spider webby.
great.
There we
Oh,
go.
you did a pretty good
I
job
think that
there.
looks
No, it's not
great,
awful.
Stephen.
Yeah.
I
I'll put
like
that on my front door.
You can do that. That's a little scary happening here.
Oh, I got- oh, no, I got
boy.
the scissors.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Okay.
I mean,
No,
it
it's okay.
doesn't look like
It's not. It's
snow.
just
Is
like.
it a snowflake?
It's just
Oh
like.
dear.
It's pretty.
Okay.
I'm going to
It's
tell you,
ready?
I'm not going to be done mine. This is
No.
too much work.
No, because see, Melissa's
2
very
minutes.
meticulous. She's not just
This
going to
one-
like rush
It's
through
also
stuff here.
I
that-
think I got sabotaged. This one looks like it was only
Yeah.
folded like half as many times as this one
Uh-oh.
was.
Does somebody try and mess
Somebody's
with you
trying to make me
here?
make snowflakes,
Melissa, I'm gonna
Zainab.
grab this
Yeah.
little bit of tape here. You got the really intricate
Oh,
one.
you know what? They gave me some spiders. That'll make them look more like a
Ah,
spider web.
Okay.
oh, so we are going to reveal the crafts coming up a little bit later
Oh, oops.
after the break. But Melissa,
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
let's see what they're supposed to look like
Melissa,
again.
we're going to show.
Okay.
There you
See,
go. That's
mine
what it's
looks a little-
supposed to look like.
I don't know how they're supposed to attach the limbs, so I'm just guessing.
Hopefully, we'll get it going, and it'll look like right there. But Melissa's
Okay.
working on hers, so is Stephen, and
This is what I got so far.
there you go. Not bad, Melissa.
Needs some work, though.
Oh,
Needs
man,
some
there
work.
you go.
Needs some feet.
Okay, all right.
All right, we will reveal them later on. But coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, a new study highlights some major concerns about children's privacy rights in video games. And our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge, and we'll be having that conversation with us coming up next. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. This morning, you could see the sun trying to come up. It should be up by about 7:35 this morning.
Have you or your children ever played Clash of Clans? So the mobile game is just one of many that a recent study has highlighted as problematic when it comes to children's privacy rights. Here to tell us more about the study is civil law professor at the University of Ottawa, Thomas Borelli. Good morning to you. Good morning. So many questions. So many questions. First off, what kind of video games are we talking about that really risk our children's privacy being invaded?
We are talking mostly about the mobile video games.
Okay.
And it's very important because like most of the players play on mobile right today. Like 60% of the player plays on mobiles.
They do. Okay. So through the mobile games, somehow they're able to glean, to capture information. What kind of information?
A lot of different types of information. First, like who you are. So your name, your address, where you live, sometimes your gender, your sex, your birthday, like information about your material. They know what kind of computer you use, the kind of browsers. They know a lot about how you play the game. Say, when do you log in, when do you log out, where you click, the way you play. And also all the information you provide through when you have a problem with them, when you buy something with them, and also more important, like all the data that can come from your social media. If you link your account to social media, they can get all this data as well.
Now, are we opening ourselves up to this? Are we actually giving permission to them taking all this information without us even knowing it?
Yeah, technically you are giving permission. However, what we have shown in the study is that when you look at these privacy policies, none of them respect the legal framework we studied in Quebec, Canada, and the US. So you would at least expect, even if you don't read the policies, you would expect them to respect the minimum standard of the law, but they don't. So even when you say yes, they are not respecting law and implementing it.
What can be done with this information? How are our children at risk?
Very, very important questions, because they say that they collect this data first to offer you the service, to open your account. So for this, it's okay. I mean, it's kind of a legitimate use, but like the main way they use your data is for targeted ads. So it's to send advertisement to the kid, which is actually like illegal for kids below 13 years old in Quebec, but it's to do targeted ad, because it's the business model of this industry. Most of these games, or a lot of these games, are free. So the way they make money is by selling your data, selling advertisement, or selling other products through this advertisement.
Okay, so a lot of times we sign up for whether it's a social media account or a video game, and yes, we're actually clicking yes to, take all my information so I can play this game or I can have access to this particular platform. But children, how can it be seen as, no, they gave up that right? Because they're only children. Don't they need their parents' permission for this?
Yes, they need the parents' authorization, but in a lot of privacy we have studied, like the consent is, you don't even know if it's an informed consent, and sometimes it's not like, they don't even collect the consent of the parents.
So are parents to blame in this?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I would really not blame the parents, because if you have experienced this, you have tried to read one of these policy, you would see that it's very, very long, it's very technical, very hard. We were 3 lawyers working on this project. Even for us, it was super hard to understand. And at the beginning, like, it was so long to read, pages and pages of documents, and sometimes one document linked to other documents, because you have third parties as well involved in the in the management of the data. So no, I would not blame the parents. It's not their fault. As I said, at least you would expect these companies to respect the minimum standards of the law.
So what needs to be done?
I think the government should step up, and we already have laws that are very, very good in some cases. Like Quebec is good, the law is good, but it's not being implemented. So it's the first step, like having the resources to do this.
Holding these companies to account.
Yes, exactly. And the second strategy that we could use, and we are seeing it right now, like, because there was a class action started in October, it's like players, parents suing these companies. And we have a class action right now. I think it's 47 companies being sued in Quebec, and it's more than 500 games involved. And let me tell you, it could be way more. That's the biggest one. You have Ubisoft, you have Nintendo, you have Microsoft, you have Tencent. You have a lot of companies established in Quebec, in Canada, or in a foreign country. But it's a major step, and it's only the first stage, but it's a very, very interesting step.
I know that we are out of time, but quickly, what can parents do to protect their children? Is there anything?
My best advice is don't play on mobile device. It's not that video games are not good. I love video games. I play video games. But don't play the online ones, and don't play on mobile right now, because it's not safe, like as we have shown in the study. Maybe it will be one day, but right now it's not.
Thomas Borelli, a civil law professor, University of Ottawa, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Melissa.
Well, there is a new book of mystery stories set right here in Ottawa. A Capital Mystery is an anthology of 21 stories by Ottawa area writers, and we are welcoming 2 of those to the show, Maya and Bernadette, this morning. Good morning to you both. Thank you for having us. We're so excited to have you here, and I can see you have this brand new book. You're very proud of it. Can you tell us a little bit about A Capital Mystery?
Well, Capital Mystery is a new anthology taking place all the stories take place in Ottawa.
Fine.
All of their 21 writers from Ottawa who contributed to the anthology. Okay. The editors are Mike Milson and Bernadette Cox. Mm-hmm. And it's a very exciting project.
Okay. And how did this all come to be? Because there's 21 different authors within one book. Can you tell us how it all came together?
Sure. I think the mastermind behind this project was Mike Martin. There was a call out that went out to authors, part of Canada Crime Writers as well as Capital Crime Writers, and we all sort of submitted stories, and then we were chosen.
Okay, really cool. Can you give us a little bit of details about each of your stories without giving too much away, of course?
Sure. Okay, well, the case of desperation, drunkenness, debauchery and despair is the name of my my story, and it's about two houseless people who are on the verge of receiving permanent housing, and their caseworker, and they find a dead body, and they become suspects. Okay. And yeah.
Interesting.
That's it, yeah.
And what about yours, Maya?
Mine is more of a mystery that takes place in Riverside South.
Okay.
You have a sort of unknown assailant who's breaking into homes and wrecking property and really sending the neighborhood into uproar.
I bet.
And so by the end, you've got this little boy who sort of does what the adults aren't able to do and solves the crime.
Oh,
so you
that's
sort of have to read it.
Yeah, I love that. And the really cool thing is there's so many different settings within Ottawa and different time periods as well.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, mine takes place on Parliament Hill, but then there are others in Strathcona Park.
Amazing.
And by town, just right around here.
Yeah, so many different, basically cool historical locations throughout our city, which is really fun. And you had a word limit, right? So each story is kind of around the same length, I would say?
That's right.
Yeah, there was a limit as to the word length, because we wanted to get as many stories as possible.
Absolutely. I mean, to fit 21 in a book, that's pretty incredible, because it's not overly thick, like it's a good size, but it's not too intimidating, I'll say.
That's right, yeah.
And you have a couple of events coming up as well. Can you share the details on those?
Yes, there's a reading at Pinehurst. Pinecrest.
Yep, Indigo Pinecrest.
Indigo Pinecrest on October 30th.
That's correct.
And then you have another event on November 18th.
Perfect Books is having another event at 7 p.m. On November 18th.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there'll be signings of the book, light refreshments, the opportunity to talk to the authors and ask questions. So if you can make it, it'll be a very fun couple of nights.
And what's it like being an author among, 21 others within this book? I guess 20 others within the book.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. We were just talking about how wonderful it is. For us, it's just a wonderful introduction to a whole community of amazing writers. We're fairly new to the game, but a lot of the authors represented in this book have been around for a while, like Barbara Fradkin,
Katie Tallow as well,
Stuart Dudley.
There's lots of different
Brenda
names.
Chaplin,
wonderful.
Melissa Yee. So it's for us. It's an honor to be included, to have our work put out there. It's very exciting.
Amazing. Yeah. Congratulations to you both, and of course those events are coming up. And where can people actually pick up the book?
They are available anywhere you would buy books. So your local bookstore, support your local bookstores, but you can get it on Amazon, you can get it at Chapters.
Incredible.
Goodreads,
That's right.
Thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Very
You're
much.
welcome. Rosie.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, the Canada Little Theatre tells us about their latest production, the award-winning musical, The Spitfire Grill. That is just ahead. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street. Daylight is breaking. It's going to be a nice sunny afternoon. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. Welcome and good morning. I'm Rosie Edna.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. Will is off for today, and it's a little bit of a cold start to your day, too.
Absolutely.
My goodness. As soon as you head outside this morning, you'll feel like, oh, yeah, winter is coming, as I'd like to say. And some areas even seeing some snowflakes on the weekend.
Because we're talking about just below that freezing mark to start off the day?
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
But it is going to warm up, which is good.
Thank goodness.
All right, then. Let's get to today's top stories. Prime Minister Mark Carney is responding for the first time after U.S. President Donald Trump increased existing tariffs on Canada by 10%. And government sources say the two leaders have not yet spoken.
The government of Canada stands ready to build on the progress that we had been making in our negotiations, our discussions with our American counterparts. It is the sole responsibility of the government of Canada to have those discussions.
Carney spoke while he was at the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Leaders Summit in Malaysia. Trump abruptly cut off trade talks with Canada on Thursday, citing a Government of Ontario ad that features clips of former President Ronald Reagan speaking negatively about tariffs. Ontario Premier Doug Ford spoke with Carney before he left for Malaysia and announced a plan to pull the ads after the weekend. The Ford government says they are not proceeding with a proposal that could have made it easier for landlords to end leases. A statement released Sunday afternoon from Rob Flack, Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, reads in part, residents expect stability and predictability in Ontario's rental market, and now is not the time to consider changes to the system. As such, we have decided not to proceed with consultations on potential changes to month-to-month leases.
The Bank of Canada will be deciding on whether to cut interest rates later this week. A recent poll of economists found they expect the bank to reduce its overnight rate by 25 basis points on Wednesday. If that happens, it would be the second consecutive cut by the central bank. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem recently said the central bank would place more emphasis on potential risks in its upcoming decision.
The Blue Jays are in Los Angeles for Game 3 of the World Series tonight after a tough 5-1 loss to the Dodgers, tying up the series 1-all.
Raring to go. Varsho will pop it up for Muncy. This should do it, and it will. The Dodgers get an...
Joe Carter returned to the Rogers Center to throw out the first ceremonial pitch in Game 2 of the World Series. As Carter walked off the field, he received a big ovation from the crowd as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. slipped Carter the Jays' home run jacket. Game 3 is set for today, just after 8 p.m. at Dodger Stadium. A house fire in the East End is under investigation after a neighbor jumped into action to warn its residents. Ottawa Fire Services says crews were called out to the 1700 block of Belcourt Boulevard Sunday morning. It took just over an hour and a half to contain the fire, and the cause of the fire is now under investigation. No injuries have been reported, thanks in large part to fast action by a neighbor.
Police in France have made 2 arrests in connection with the brazen daylight heist of crown jewels from the Louvre Museum in Paris. One of the men was arrested north of Paris Saturday night as he was preparing to board a flight to leave the country. Another was arrested later in the evening in the Saint-Denis suburb north of Paris. Thieves stole 8 pieces estimated to be worth over $100 million from the Louvre's collection on October 19th. And Hurricane Melissa rapidly strengthened to a Category 5 storm barreling through the Caribbean.
It now seems virtually certain that the core of a powerful hurricane is going to move over Jamaica on a Tuesday.
Satellite images show the eye of Melissa near Cuba with winds reaching 220 kilometers per hour. Jamaica is bracing for impact with fears the storm could strengthen by the time it hits, causing flash flooding, storm surges, and landslides.
Canadians will soon have to be photographed when entering and exiting the U.S., according to new rules from the Department of Homeland Security. The new condition will apply to travelers no matter how they cross, whether it's by land, air, or through a port. It's part of a move to collect biometric data introduced several years ago. No word yet on when this would be rolled out.
Does it get any more Australian than this?
2 icons from Down Under, the Wiggles and Vegemite, are teaming up to put a colorful twist on Vegemite's classic jingle.
This recording is actually the first recording of the jingle in 71 years, and it's all to mark the company's 102nd birthday.
I have never tried Vegemite.
I don't even know what it is. I was going to ask him what it is. Is it a seasoning, a spice? Is it
It's like a peanut butter, like a yeah.
Okay, like a smooth spread.
Yeah, and
of some
nothing
sort.
to do with peanuts, but
It's like
yeah,
a soy butter or something,
some sort of a spread, and it's
interesting.
Very Australian.
That's probably why I've never heard it. I've never been to Australia. I've definitely heard of the Wiggles, and I've watched the Wiggles.
Yes, of course.
Plenty of times in my life, just not up to date with the Vegemite.
There you go. But you are up to date with the weather.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, it's going to be a bit of a cold start to your morning, and as we head towards Halloween, it's going to look a little bit wet. So we do have some wet weather on the way this morning, cool and sunny into your day ahead. A beautiful fall day. Temperature is very average for this time of the year. Sitting at 0 now, so we have warmed up a little bit here this morning. It's 2 in Pembroke. Still a little bit cooler in Trenton. Kingston sitting at -2, -3 this morning. Nice clear skies to start things off, so hardly any clouds in sight to start off your day. And into your day ahead, sunshine on the way for us into the afternoon. 10 degrees is the daytime high. Same within Cornwall, Brockville, slightly cooler. The Valley sitting at 8 for your afternoon high this afternoon. And for kids heading off to recess, a beautiful day for recess. A little bit cooler this morning, but we will see that sunshine. Temps still in the single digits and the low single digits to start your morning off. But then into the afternoon, we'll still get to see that sunshine and warming up to a high of 10. So it will be much warmer later on this afternoon once we reach that daytime high. And over the next couple of days, beautiful afternoons, but cooler overnights, and then we'll see that shift. 10 is the high for today, 11 and 12 for Wednesday, and you could see sunshine to kick off your work week. Overnight lows, cold to kick off your work week, and then as we head into the middle end of the work week, we're going to see some showers. Daytime highs not as warm, but overnight lows a little bit warmer than the beginning of the work week.
And taking a look at your traffic, volume is picking up out there, seeing some congestion on the 417 eastbound from Richmond to Island Park. Westbound, we're seeing a sticky spot from Vanier to Nicholas. St. Joseph westbound, taking a look right there as well. And we're looking at, it is closed between 10th Line Road to Preston Drive and that is due to a broken water main. And Woodruff is seeing traffic disruptions at Knoxdale due to traffic signals not working.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Well, get ready for music, laughter, and a whole lot of heart. The Spitfire Grill is serving up an inspiring story based on the beloved film. This award-winning musical blends folk and bluegrass tunes with a touching story about forgiveness, renewal, and community. And today we're joined by two of the talented actors. Please welcome Jillian and Ryan to the show. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Okay, give us the details on what is happening. This sounds amazing.
So this is the Spitfire Grill, as you had mentioned. It is it's directed, first of all, by Claire Flockton.
Okay.
It is running at the Ron Maslin Playhouse from November 5th to the 15th, where there is a matinee show on the 9th, and then every other show is in the evening at 7:30.
Can you give us a few of the details about the Spitfire Grill and what it's kind of entails?
Yeah, of course. So it's about a young woman, Percy, played by Jillian, fresh out of prison, looking for a fresh start in life. She gets sent to a new small town, but at the same time as her discovering a new fresh start for her life, she gives a new perspective and a fresh set of eyes to the citizens of the struggling small town.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about your characters? Because you're both actors in the play.
Yes.
Tell us about your character, Ryan.
So I am the sheriff of the town, Joe Sutter, yes. So just basically the town security guard, just making sure that whoever's in and whoever's out, I got to make sure who's who, and then obviously when she comes in, it's a brand new set face for me.
Yeah.
So I got to make sure to figure out who's that and what she's doing there.
And tell us a little bit more about Percy, the character you'll be playing.
Sure. Percy's a little bit complex. She went through she's got a past.
Yeah.
And so she's really trying to get that fresh start and thinks that, that small town's going to bring her that sense of, like you say, community. But unfortunately, when she gets there, she's met with resistance because, sometimes small towns don't like change.
That's right.
A lot of people sometimes don't like change, but through, spending more time in the community, then there's more acceptance, growth, forgiveness. So Percy essentially finds herself, and then the community kind of finds themselves again.
Okay. And so what are some of the themes that the play touches on?
I would definitely say forgiveness. Sometimes we hold on to things that we don't we don't need to. You know, we need to be kinder to ourselves, kinder to each other, and acceptance, that would definitely be another one, and hope.
Amazing.
Hope. Yeah, absolutely.
And great live music as well.
Great
yes,
live
we have
music.
a live band. It includes a mandolin, an accordion,
Ooh.
cello, piano, and a bass, and guitars.
Okay.
So very grassroots, folky.
I
Yeah, very
love
folksy.
that.
Yeah.
Sounds incredible. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today and taking time out of your busy schedules to give us the details on the Spitfire Grill. And of course, you can catch the Canada Theatre's production of the Spitfire Grill at the Ron Maslin Playhouse. It runs from November 5th to the 15th. And of course, you can head online for those tickets and more information. Well, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, Ottawa's Pure Country 94 is announcing an intimate Christmas concert with the Canadian country star Dallas Smith. We'll tell you all you need to know and how you can win your way into the show. That information is just ahead. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam this morning. The sun is up, but it is a cold start to your day. Temps sitting at 0 degrees to start off your morning. Ottawa's Pure Country 94 is announcing an exciting holiday celebration today, and Will had the chance to catch up with Ashley Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94 to hear more about the show.
Well, Ottawa's Pure Country 94 wants to celebrate the start of the holiday season with you. Now we're talking. Pure Country 94 is unleashing a night of unforgettable country vibes with Dallas Smith and, of course, his band. One night only featuring the incredible Brock Phillips live at the NAC on November 28th. Join us in supporting CTV and Move 100's Toy Mountain campaign. Let's crush our goal of ensuring every child in Ottawa wakes up to a gift this Christmas. Bring a new unwrapped toy and let's make some holiday magic happen. 100% of your donation goes directly to those who need it most. Here to tell us more about the incredible event, and of course, Ashley and Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. I can't believe we're already kind of talking about the holidays. It's still, we haven't had Halloween yet, but this is actually a really big show coming up.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
Bring it on.
I'm a big Halloween guy, but I'm also a huge Christmas guy.
Yeah.
So like, I'm okay with let's just do it all at once.
Yeah.
This is such an exciting event, and I love that it's a part of Toy Mountain. But first, let's just give everyone a little bit of a taste of the Dallas Smith and what people can expect.
Well, Dallas Smith, over the years, you know, he's had 25 hit singles, 5 studio albums. He's the biggest country star in Canada, 3 times CCMA Entertainer of the Year. This is going to be a big show. And what's great about this, it's at the National Arts Centre. He usually does these big arena tours within Canada, but now he's coming to some smaller venues. It's an intimate show, and it's mostly acoustic, which is so cool.
I love those intimate settings,
Yes.
especially with an artist like that where, you know, he might play an intimate song or two, but you really see the power of the voices and how great and special those shows can be.
Yeah, and I really think that he's curated the list, like the set list, because he knows this is going to be an intimate setting, and it's Christmas time, so he's going to definitely, I think, really just pump that kind of Christmas mood into the crowd that night. So I think it's going to be unlike anything we've ever seen from him before, so we're really excited.
Yeah. I love that. Unforgettable was a word that I used to describe it a little bit earlier. So if fans, viewers, listeners want to get involved, how could they potentially have a chance to see him in this?
Well, we have some ticket giveaways starting November 3rd until the 21st. So if you want your tickets, maybe an early stocking stuffer, you can listen to the morning pickup with Ashley and Gord every weekday morning starting on November 3rd.
And we'll have all of the details posted at purecountry94.ca. But we do encourage you, if you win your way there, if you buy tickets, please bring that new unwrapped toy to support Toy Mountain. I mean, this is really what it's all about as we head into the holiday season, ensuring that all kids have, you know, gifts under the tree this year.
It's so special because you're able to do something that's really, it's great for you. You get to see Dallas Smith in such an intimate setting, but also help those in need. So let's talk about the combination with it also being a Toy Mountain.
Yeah, of course. It's that time of year, and Will, you know, working with CTV, Toy Mountain is a huge part of what we do here at Bell Media. So we can't wait to see everybody come out with those new unwrapped toys. We're hoping to make a lot of kids' Christmas right here in the capital.
I feel tying that into with that night out, it's like a feel-good night out.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to have a feel-good night out? It is.
It is, and you know what? It makes it that much more meaningful this time of year because regardless whether you're going for the concert or not, you know you're doing something that's going to benefit a child at this time of year. So it is. It's special. It's a great night out for you, the family. Put the kiddos at home. Bring the kiddos. Whatever you want to do.
Get a babysitter. Get a babysitter.
Don't bring the kiddos.
Do not
Hire a
bring the kiddos.
babysitter.
No, fun night out for the parents.
You heard it here first. Kiddos, you're staying at home. Ashley's having a big night out. We'll let you guys get back upstairs, but thanks for sharing that with us today because this is such an awesome event.
Thanks so much, Will.
Thanks, Will.
And don't forget, you can listen to Ashley and Gord on the morning pickup weekdays from 6 until 10 a.m. only on Ottawa's Pure Country 94. And coming up here on Your Morning Ottawa, we check in with one lucky Jays fan who got to go to not only Game 1, but also Game 2 of the World Series at Rogers Centre, and he'll be joining us coming up next. We'll be right back after this, and just a reminder, we'll start your day. Well, the Jays get ready to try and regain the lead in the World Series in tonight's Game 3 against the Dodgers. So we're checking in with a Jays fan who got to not only attend Game 1, but also Game 2 in Toronto. Zach Nielsen joins us now. Good morning to you. I see you got your Jays gear on.
How could I not?
Okay, you were
action going on.
Absolutely. Okay, tell us, what does it mean to you to be able to watch the Jays in the World Series? Did you ever think that you would get a chance?
No, it's surreal. My grandfather, who passed away a few years ago, was the biggest Jays fan I ever knew or met, and it kind of felt nostalgic in a lot of ways to be in there and know that it would have meant a lot to him, and it definitely means a lot to me. It definitely meant a lot to the city of Toronto. It was crazy. It was buzzing in there and outside the stadium. It was quite the experience.
Okay, so tell us more about the atmosphere, not only inside Rogers Centre, but basically in Toronto all weekend long.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Like, a little kid would be walking down the street, yell, "Go Jays, go," and everyone would turn and say the same thing. There was a band playing outside. The street meat, as always in Toronto, fantastic. So it was electric inside and outside. But it was, every restaurant was full. It's exactly why I'm such a big supporter of Lansdowne 2.0 and LeBreton Flats, because Ottawa deserves that type of electricity as well.
And what does it mean to you to know that you got to take this in live? Like, what was that like to be in there in the stadium, and especially when, you know, the Jays started to get the bats going in Game 1?
Yeah, baseball's such a unique sport because every pitch in the playoffs is so intense. So there's this little buildup, and then a pitch happens, and then it's another buildup, and a pitch happens. So being in the stadium, it was probably the most stressful, as you can probably tell from my voice, stressful like 4 hours of my life. And then I had to do it again the next day, or I was lucky enough to get to do it again the next day. But it was tense. Like, inside the stadium was tense. It felt very nerve-wracking. And then when the Jays broke it open in the first game, it was just pure jubilation. Like, the place went absolutely bananas. And for the rest of the evening, we celebrated accordingly.
Absolutely. Okay, so now the series heads to LA with tied at 1 for each team. What do you think the Jays need to do to get back out on top?
You know what? We just have to get on them early. We have to get on them early. You know, their pitchers are really strong. Their strongest core component to their team probably right now is their starting pitching. And if we can get him out of the game early, get his pitch count up, I really think the Jays stack up really well when we get to the bullpens. So we just got to get on them early, get those bats going. And we got Scherzer on the mound. He's got, 2 different color eyes. He's the most intense pitcher in the league. This is going to be his 501st start.
Wow.
So he's ready to go. So I feel pretty good. I feel confident.
Any more plans to go to any more games?
Yeah, well, most likely. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how things go. Hopefully the Jays don't need me, but if they need me back in Toronto for 6 and 7, then, yeah, I'll plan accordingly.
All right, fingers crossed, and go Jays, go.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. And here are your milestones for today. We're going to start off with a happy first birthday to Blake. Love, Mommy and Daddy. We also have a happy birthday to Samuel and Sade, celebrating 9 years on October 26th. And this is a big deal, and we know you're excited about it. We'll be rocking an epic birthday party to celebrate. We want to let you know that we love you both very much. Happy birthday, love, Mom, Dad, Grandma, all your aunties, uncles, cousins, and especially Auntie Rosie. And if you have a milestone, celebrate it with us. Send your birthday announcements for kids turning 13 years old and under, or for those turning 100 years old or more. We also do wedding anniversaries for those celebrating 50 years or more. All you have to do is email us your Morning Ottawa milestones at ctv.ca, and we'll make sure to get your announcement on the air.
It's Monday, October 27th.
The government of Canada stands ready to build on the progress that we had been making in our negotiations, our discussions.
The Prime Minister is reacting to new tariffs from the U.S. president after Donald Trump abruptly pulled the plug on trade talks last week.
This league's ever seen in a season. And
Atletico Ottawa is heading to the CPL final after a huge win on Sunday.
Raring to go. Varsha will pop it up for Muncy. This should do it.
And the Toronto Blue Jays hope to get back on track tonight after giving up Game 2 of the World Series to the LA Dodgers. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Happy morning. Come on in. Happy Monday. I'm Rosie Edda.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. And unfortunately, a little bit of a cool start to our Monday morning. The good news is sunshine on the way to start off your work week.
Okay, so Will is off today. We'll have him back tomorrow. We're kind of doing like a little chair tag. Now
yes,
I'm in, which is good. I'm
exactly.
happy to be back here. Yes, okay, so it is a cool start to the day, so you got to know that for the kiddos, layer up, because it is going to be nicer into the afternoon.
Absolutely.
Which is all good. We're going to get to today's top stories for you right now. Prime Minister Mark Carney is responding for the first time after U.S. President Donald Trump increased existing tariffs on Canada by 10%. And government sources say the two leaders have not yet spoken.
The government of Canada stands ready to build on the progress that we had been making in our negotiations, our discussions with our American counterparts. It is the sole responsibility of the government of Canada to have those discussions.
Carney spoke while he was at the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Leaders Summit in Malaysia. Trump abruptly cut off trade talks with Canada on Thursday, citing a government of Ontario ad that features clips of former President Ronald Reagan speaking negatively about tariffs. Ontario Premier Doug Ford spoke with Carney before he left for Malaysia and announced a plan to pull the ads after the weekend. The Ford government says they are not proceeding with a proposal that could have made it easier for landlords to end leases. A statement released Sunday afternoon from Rob Flack, Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, reads in part, residents expect stability and predictability in Ontario's rental market, and now is not the time to consider changes to the system. As such, we have decided not to proceed with consultations on potential changes to month-to-month leases.
The Bank of Canada will be deciding on whether to cut interest rates later this week. A recent poll of economists found they expect the bank to reduce its overnight rate by 25 basis points on Wednesday. If that happens, it would be the second consecutive cut by the central bank. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem recently said the central bank would place more emphasis on potential risks in its upcoming decision.
The Blue Jays are in Los Angeles for Game 3 of the World Series tonight after a tough 5-1 loss to the Dodgers, tying up the series 1-1.
Raring to go. Varsha will pop it up for Muncy. This should do it. And it will.
Joe Carter returned to the Rogers Centre to throw out the ceremonial first pitch in Game 2 of the World Series. As Carter walked off the field, he received a big ovation from the crowd as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. slipped Carter the Jays' home run jacket. Game 3 is set for today, just after 8 p.m. at Dodgers Stadium. A house fire in the East End is under investigation after a neighbor jumped into action to warn its residents. Ottawa Fire Services says crews were called out to the 1700 block of Belcourt Boulevard Sunday morning. It took just over an hour and a half to contain the fire, and the cause of the fire is now under investigation. No injuries have been reported, thanks in large part to fast action by a neighbor.
Police in France have made 2 arrests in connection with the brazen daylight heist of crown jewels from the Louvre Museum in Paris. One of the men was arrested north of Paris Saturday night as he was preparing to board a flight to leave the country. Another was arrested later in the evening in the Saint-Denis suburb north of Paris. Thieves stole 8 pieces estimated to be worth over $100 million from the Louvre's collection on October 19th. Hurricane Melissa rapidly strengthened to a Category 5 storm barreling through the Caribbean.
It now seems virtually certain that the core of a powerful hurricane is going to move over Jamaica on a Tuesday.
Satellite images show the eye of Melissa near Cuba with winds reaching 220 kilometers per hour. Jamaica is bracing for impact with fears the storm could strengthen by the time it hits, causing flash flooding, storm surges, and landslides.
Canadians will soon have to be photographed when entering and exiting the U.S., according to new rules from the Department of Homeland Security. The new condition will apply to travelers no matter how they cross, whether it's by land, air, or through a port. It's part of a move to collect biometric data introduced several years ago. No word yet on when this would be rolled out.
A giant inflatable Kermit the Frog took over Place Vendôme in Paris.
Wow, that is big. He's become the unlikely star of the International Contemporary Art Fair, Air Basel, Paris. Some are saying the balloon is unique and funny, while others are complaining he stands out a little too much.
I didn't expect it to be that large as well. Like, it is massive, massive Kermit the Frog.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's definitely getting attention.
It is something to look at.
Our forecast today, a cool start to your morning, and I know we're all eyeing Halloween. What's the weather going to be like? Is it going to be beautiful like last year? Unfortunately, at this point, it's looking more wet than anything else. So not overly cold, but definitely not a beautiful Halloween forecast for us. Temperatures into your morning right now, it is quite cool. We're sitting at -1, so really fluctuating between the freezing mark and a little bit below. We've kind of been fluctuating all morning long. -2 in Kingston, -3 in Trenton, still 0 now over in Brockville, 3 over in Montreal area. So clear skies to start things off throughout your day ahead. Lots of sunshine on the way for us and double-digit temps later on today. Very seasonal. Normal for this time of the year is around 9.9 degrees. We'll reach a high of 10, so right on par for where we should be. Lots of sunshine throughout the region as well. Slightly cooler out in the valley today. Your daytime high is 8 degrees, so in those single digits, but double digits throughout most of the viewing region. 9 degrees in Kittatinny and Montreal and Mont-Tremblant, who saw a little bit of snow over the course of the weekend. So for us here in Ottawa, this is what we're expecting over the next 5 days. Sunshine till Wednesday. Temperatures very seasonal, a little bit above Tuesday and through Wednesday, but those overnight lows, that's the big story. Cold overnight for us tonight and through Wednesday, as well as temperatures will drop below that freezing mark. It will warm up into the overnights Thursday and through the weekend, but the daytime highs then will shift and be slightly below seasonal. 9 degrees for Thursday, Friday. At this point, Halloween looking a little soggy. We could see 5 up to 10 millimeters of rain. On your roads this morning, still seeing some congestion on the 417 eastbound from Richmond through Parkdale. We're seeing about a 15-minute delay so far in that area, so it is quite heavy in volume. Also seeing westbound moving slowly from Saint Laurent and Nicholas Street. And just to give a quick note that St. Joseph westbound is closed 10th line to Preston Street due to a broken water main. Woodruff is seeing some traffic disruptions at Knoxdale due to the traffic signals not working.
We've all said we are going to spend less time on our phones. Now someone's come up with a way to make that promise a whole lot heavier.
Here's Ashley and Gord from the morning pickup on Pure Country 94 to test it out, kind of.
Is this the most creative way to break a phone addiction? First off, Gord, do you think you're addicted to your phone?
I wouldn't say that I rely on my phone. I don't think I'm like addicted to my phone.
Okay, so what Gord doesn't know is that a couple days ago, I kept track of how many times he touched his phone over the course of the show, 27 times you reached for your phone. 27 times
That
in
seems
4
like a lot.
hours. So some of us might not think we're addicted to our phones, but when we actually keep track, we realize we are. So a content creator has come up with this. He has 3D printed a 6-pound stainless steel phone case. And the whole idea is that if you make your phone heavy, you physically don't want to hold it for very long.
Well, that makes sense.
Right?
Right.
It all started when he taped a 5-pound dumbbell to his phone to see if it would help him scroll less. And so we asked you to give up your phone, put a weight on it, and let's see how often you touched it. So, the phone.
By the way, this is a 9-pounder. This bad boy's heavy.
Yeah, well, we know you have phone addictions problems, so we had to make it a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
So we did our own research, and you went from 27 times touching your phone.
Yeah.
That's without the weight. 2, are you ready for this?
You know this, okay.
4 times you touched your phone. 4, from 27 to 4 times.
That's an average of once an hour for me.
So there's something to be said about putting a little weight on the phone. And the whole idea, too, is that once you weight down your phone, it almost starts to feel like a tool, like a laptop, like something that isn't convenient to carry around.
Yeah, you're onto something. And the only time I was really using my phone was to text my wife, and I wasn't even texting paragraphs because I'm like, oh my God, this is really heavy. I just gotta, okay, yeah, we'll bring home. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, if you like this idea, this guy has now started a Kickstarter campaign to start selling these 6-pound stainless steel phone cases. If you really feel like you have a problem, this might be the way to beat the addiction.
Or just grab, a 9-pounder and throw some tape around
You
it.
could do that
There you
too.
go.
Looks like a phone from the 80s over there you got. Oh, that's heavy.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Would it work? I don't know.
First of all, it would be just hard to go, oh, yeah, okay, I've got to wrap a weight around the phone.
Yeah.
But once the weight is on the phone, then it becomes completely inconvenient. It's like, what is this weird, large apparatus I have here? And then, like Ashley said, it does look like something out of Miami Vice from like the 1980s, 1990s. Like, what is this
When cell
old-time
phones
phone?
first came around and they were this big honking thing. And they weren't really convenient, so you didn't really carry it. Like, you definitely just didn't slide in your pocket like they do now, right?
Right, and it's so easy. They make it so convenient, right? It's just like, if it's in your hand, what? I'm just on my phone.
The thing is, now phones are like personal computers, right? Like, I always have mine close by because I get my traffic through the phone so I can keep people up to date. But now they're just so convenient because it's like your photo album. It's like everything combined in one. It's my calendar. Like without my phone, I'm like, oh no. Where am I supposed to be? What am I doing right now? Yeah.
Put a weight
So
on
it's
it. Let's
tricky.
see if that works.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, don't forget, you can catch Ashley and Gord on the morning pickup every weekday from 6 to 10 a.m. on Ottawa's Pure Country 94. And coming up in the next hour, our Halloween craft reveal. We're going to show you our final creations. That's coming up next. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Just like Melissa promised, lots of sunshine out there. It is 8:13. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. Welcome back to Your Morning Ottawa, and we are back with the big Halloween craft reveal.
Yes.
Can we show some before pictures? We're busy at work putting together our crafts, and there you go. Scary skeleton for Melissa, mummy for me, and we're still deciding, is it a snowflake or is it a spider web out of the garbage bag?
You know.
Yeah, a little bit of both, right?
If you do a makeshift, all you have to do, keep it like that for Halloween, then spray paint it white and keep it out for
See,
Christmas.
this is how I know you have a craft corner in your house.
You know
right?
that, right?
Like those
Very
words
nice.
right there. It's like, I have a craft
Very
corner.
nice.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so
All right, are we
who
ready?
wants to go first here? Well, I guess we can all do our big reveal. Da, 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 da.
Mine's very tall.
Melissa, nice. Oh, well, you know what, Stephen? If you look, it looks, it does look like a spider web.
It just
great.
looks like a really big spider who wound really big webs.
Really big webs.
Yeah, like,
And I don't know if people can see this, but those are little spiders there.
They're rings.
Jeweled spider
yeah,
rings.
I got one on.
There you go.
So if
you
you
got one on. I love that.
Smart idea to buy the rings because then it really attaches
Very
easily.
nice.
You don't have to glue it. You could just clamp it on,
There
right?
you go.
Oh, you lost
That's
one.
what happens. It's cold outside. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then, okay, so here's again a look at what they're supposed to look like. And here we go with my mummy. Ooh.
That's great.
Is that the one you did, or is it this one that you did?
Oh, no. That's
You can't cheat. You can't take the demonstration one.
And this is mine. I didn't even notice. I was like, why are the eyes green? I could have sworn I put in black
Look how
eyes.
good this one is that I made.
Yeah. But this one, you know.
Well, I didn't
there.
have a comparison.
There you go. There you go. Woo! Okay, Melissa, bring it.
There you go.
Not bad,
it's a little
Melissa. Come on.
skeleton.
Yeah, I love it. The hands, the bones.
I had to get creative in how to attach the
what'd you
the
do,
limbs.
tape?
I did tape, and I just kind of folded it.
Oh, I
and
see how
taped-
you did that.
Taped it on.
Very
folded
nice.
it inside.
I feel like the kids are going to like this. They're going to want that.
Right?
Your two
Yeah,
little ones.
absolutely.
You think they'll want Steven's?
Of course they will.
Web and My Mummy. Well,
absolutely.
There you go
Great
for the
job.
kids.
They'll love that.
We did pretty good.
And they're
I'm gonna have to
watching
build
right
a
now
craft corner
too.
in my house.
There you
Yes.
go. Very nice indeed. That's. I'll keep giving you the already made one. This is mine.
Oh,
Please
yeah,
take this
perfect.
one and say it's from Rosie, please. Come on.
I will.
There you go. Yeah, throw that one out. Nice job.
Amazing. Well, so much fun. And of course, some easy crafts you could do. You still have a couple days to get your crafts completed for Halloween.
There you go.
The good news is the sun is shining for us on this Monday morning, but it is still cold. We're sitting at -1 to start off your day.
It is never too early to start thinking about the holidays. One Ottawa small business has been in the holiday spirit for a few weeks already. That's because the team at Savvy Company is curating some fun advent calendars full of Canadian products. Owner Debbie Trenum is with us to explain it all and share the details about one of Ottawa's favorite wine events. Good morning to you, Debbie.
Good morning. It's great to be here, Rosie.
It's wonderful to have you on. You know, we just finished decorating some Halloween decorations, but you know what? We can switch like that on a dime and get into the holiday spirit. What do you have for us?
Well, we have been thinking about the holidays, Christmas in particular, but Advent calendar, and I am so glad to be on air with you today.
This is so
because,
good.
believe it or not, our Advent calendars are almost sold out. It's not even November, but you need to know that there are 30 of our top-selling Advent calendars full of wine. This one.
Can I open this?
And we also have cider.
Really?
And we'll talk about all the rest as
Okay,
well.
so you got your Advent
dive in.
calendars in here. Okay.
Come on, you can
Let's
do
do
it.
that. Open that up.
And this is what it looks like, the big unveil.
Oh.
Oh, you know what? That's upside down.
Oh, that is. Well,
Oh,
let's
no.
just
Here,
do
let
you
me
think
help
it's
you.
upside down? Okay.
Let's
do it.
Ta-da! There you go, then.
There you go.
All right. Now, let's say it's the 15th day of Advent. So there's one.
Oh, yeah.
goodie
There's
every
15
day.
right
So
there.
why don't you
Pop that open.
Pop that open.
Ooh, what do we have right here? Oh, hello.
No, don't show it because
show it.
that's
That's
the
a surprise. You know I was going to
Every
go
day
right up
is
in there.
different.
Oh,
so
wow.
There will be a small bottle of wine, single serving bottle of wine. So
Okay.
I've got a couple of them here.
Okay.
It could be about this size.
Oh, okay.
Or it might be a can. But
What
these are
will it
all
be?
Ontario wines that are not available at the LCBO.
Surprise. Every single day there in your Advent calendar.
Is something different.
Okay.
A different wine.
Okay.
We have the
What do we
same
have
thing
here?
for cider.
That's great.
And chocolate. Do you like chocolate?
I do.
Okay,
I
this is
do.
the best there is.
Yeah.
This is made by Anna Stube.
This is
She's
beautiful.
local.
Oh, the Stube family. They have amazing chocolate.
Forget what you
Yes.
see at the grocery stores. This is the one you really want.
Oh,
Look at this, look at this.
Look how beautiful that box is. You haven't
Isn't
even
it?
opened it up yet, but this
Ta-da.
is just gorgeous.
Every day there is not one chocolate, but two. And they are truffles or bonbons. Want to have one?
I would love it. They make
Okay.
exquisite chocolate, I
They
tell
make
you. They
exquisite
really
chocolate.
do. Now, do you know which one
And
is
they're
like
local.
salted caramel? Do you know which one it is? Do you know which one?
I would go for that one. That's my favorite.
Yeah? What is this one? This is beautiful.
We also have
work of
Advent
art.
calendars full of coffee or mocktails. And the whole idea is that everything that we do is Canadian and hard to find. So you will not find these at the grocery stores.
Debbie, this is amazing.
Isn't it? It's a great way to start a Monday morning, isn't it?
Oh, that's beautiful. Different notes. I love how the salt complements the caramel and the chocolate. This is beautiful. Okay, so this is from the Trebby.
This is
chocolate.
from the Stubbe family,
Stubbe
and
family.
it's available on our website.
Stubbe family
So
chocolate.
savvycompany.ca is
Okay.
where all 5 of these different advent calendars are available, and all kinds of gifts too.
It's no surprise that it's almost sold out, your advent calendar. No surprise at all. What else is going on?
We have our signature wine event coming up on November 6th, and it's called Outstanding in Their Fields, and it is taking place at Sala San Marco. And the whole idea there is that winemakers from all across Ontario, Prince Edward County, Niagara, Pelee Island, are coming to Ottawa to meet you, and you get to sip and sample throughout the couple of hours, and then order any of your favorites. So it's the best way to shop for wine.
This is wonderful. This is a great gift. This makes a wonderful gift here. Like you said, almost sold out. But hey, if you want more information on how you can get your hands on this rather delectable advent calendar, how can they do that?
They can go to savvycompany.ca is our website, and all 5 advent calendars are available to order. And we will start delivering in the middle of November, which is, oh my God, in a couple of
Right
weeks.
around the corner.
Holy smokes.
Absolutely. Debbie Trenham, thank you so much. I'm going to finish this chocolate, but first off, send it off to Melissa.
Well, coming up, game day dogs with the
Thank you.
Elmdale Tavern. More game day eats as the World Series continues. We'll have that just ahead. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam this morning, and it is a bright start to your morning, but it is a little cool. Temps right now sitting at -1.
Tamarack Ottawa Race Weekend returns May 23rd and 24th, and it's never too early to join Canada's biggest running celebration. From the full and the half marathons to the 10K, the 5K, and the 2K, there's a distance for everyone. Register early to save on fees, jumpstart your training, and get ahead on fundraising in the Desjardins Charity Challenge. Join thousands at the start line and be a part of something amazing. Visit runottawa.ca for more information.
Good morning. It's 8:30 on your Monday. Come on in. Welcome to CTV, Your Morning Ottawa. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and one thing about us here, we go big for Halloween, and it sure is feeling like the day is inching closer and closer. We had Halloween crafts.
Yes.
Our set is looking very spooky, which is exciting, and we have so many more things, fun things planned for you this entire week.
I'm very excited to spend Halloween with you and Will all week long to see what we can come up with, because I just know. I know you love Halloween. I do, and I know Will does too. He's away today, but it's going to be fun to spend the rest of the week with you guys up to who knows what.
Oh yeah, we
with
have
Halloween.
some little things up our sleeves
There
that
you
we've
go.
already been pre-planning, so it sure will.
Looking forward to it, but right now we're going to get to today's top stories. Prime Minister Mark Carney is responding for the first time after U.S. President Donald Trump increased existing tariffs on Canada by 10%, and government sources say the two leaders have not yet spoken.
The government of Canada stands ready to build on the progress that we had been making in our negotiations, our discussions with our American counterparts. It is the sole responsibility of the government of Canada to have those discussions.
Carney spoke while he was at the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Leaders Summit in Malaysia. Trump abruptly cut off trade talks with Canada on Thursday, citing a Government of Ontario ad that features clips of former President Ronald Reagan speaking negatively about tariffs. Ontario Premier Doug Ford spoke with Carney before he left for Malaysia and announced a plan to pull the ads after the weekend. The Ford government says they are not proceeding with a proposal that could have made it easier for landlords to end leases. A statement released Sunday afternoon from Rob Flack, Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, reads in part, residents expect stability and predictability in Ontario's rental market, and now is not the time to consider changes to them. As such, we have decided not to proceed with consultations on potential changes to month-to-month leases.
The Bank of Canada will be deciding on whether to cut interest rates later this week. A recent poll of economists found they expect the bank to reduce its overnight rate by 25 basis points on Wednesday. If that happens, it would be the second consecutive cut by the central bank. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem recently said the central bank would place more emphasis on potential risks in its upcoming decision.
The Blue Jays are in Los Angeles for Game 3 of the World Series tonight after a tough 5-1 loss to the Dodgers, tying up the series 1-all.
Raring to go. Varsho will pop it up for Muncy. This should do it. And it will. The Dodgers get it.
Joe Carter returned to the Rogers Center, there he is, to throw out the ceremonial first pitch in Game 2 of the World Series. As Carter walked off the field, he received a big ovation from the crowd as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. slipped Carter the Jays' home run jacket. Game 3 is set for today, just after 8 p.m. at Dodgers Stadium. A house fire in the East End is under investigation after a neighbor jumped into action to warn its residents. Ottawa Fire Services says crews were called out to the 1700 block of Belcourt Boulevard Sunday morning. It took just over an hour and a half to contain the fire, and the cause of the fire is now under investigation. No injuries have been reported, thanks in large part to fast action by a neighbor.
Police in France have made 2 arrests in connection with the brazen daylight heist of crown jewels from the Louvre Museum in Paris. One of the men was arrested north of Paris Saturday night as he was preparing to board a flight to leave the country. Another was arrested later in the evening in the Saint-Denis suburb north of Paris. Thieves stole 8 pieces estimated to be worth over $100 million from the Louvre's collection on October 19th. Hurricane Melissa rapidly strengthened to a Category 5 storm barreling through the Caribbean.
It now seems virtually certain that the core of a powerful hurricane is going to move over Jamaica on a Tuesday.
Satellite images show the eye of Melissa near Cuba with winds reaching 220 kilometers per hour. Jamaica is bracing for impact with fears the storm could strengthen by the time it hits, causing flash flooding, storm surges, and landslides.
Canadians will soon have to be photographed when entering and exiting the U.S. That's according to new rules from the Department of Homeland Security. The new condition will apply to travelers no matter how they cross, whether it's by land, air, or through a port. It's part of a move to collect biometric data introduced several years ago. No word yet on when this would be rolled out.
In the light of day, these Halloween haunts in New Brunswick aren't so scary, but it's a different story when the sun goes down. Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's scary.
Very scary.
The Haunted Halloween Trail at Boyle Family Farm employs 30 actors and others behind the scenes, all working to give visitors a real scare. They say their experience is open to anyone, even kids, as long as they believe they can handle the gotcha,
oh, you know,
scares.
I still think that is scary in the daylight. Like, I still think, regardless of the time of the day, if one of those things popped out at me, I would be running for the high hills. Like, I'm out of there. Yeah.
It's so great, too, that they employ actors.
Yeah, right? And that's why you're getting that real scare because, you know, they're trained professionals to
jump right out at you.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad it's in New Brunswick, but I know we have lots of haunted areas here in the city as well. So many spooky season is upon us. It's a bit of a cold start to your Monday morning. Temperatures right now below that freezing mark. Today's high is 10 degrees, average is about 9.9, so very average temperatures into your afternoon. Seeing clear skies to start things off and into your day ahead. A high of 10 degrees later on this afternoon, so sunshine with a high of 10. Beautiful fall day right where we should be sitting. 8 degrees in the valley for your afternoon high. 9 in Kittakinzibi as well as in Mont-Tremblant where they did see their first snowflakes into the weekend. So to start off the work week, sunshine, temperatures fairly average, a little bit above Tuesday and through Wednesday, but overnight lows a little bit cold below that freezing mark over the next few days, which means your mornings will be quite chilly. As we head towards Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a little bit wet. Unfortunately, even Halloween is looking a little soggy at this point. We could see 5 up to 10 millimeters of rain on Friday, so fingers crossed that it does change. It's still quite early. Even a couple millimeters is better than 5 to 10, which looks quite wet for your Halloween. However, your overnight lows, not nearly as cold cold, so at least it won't be overly cool as we head into the evening hours of Halloween.
Weather brought to you by Yeggendorf Rashid. Experience knowledge and a commitment to excellence.
And on your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. And of course, volume is heavy now. If you are heading out on the drive-in, we're seeing moderate volume on the Queensway. Congestion 417 eastbound from Richmond to Parkdale. About a 15-minute delay so far. Westbound is slow from Saint Laurent to Nicholas. And just still a traffic note, St. Joseph westbound is closed between 10th Line and Preston due to a broken water main.
Industry leaders say they are disappointed with the additional 10% tariff on Canadian goods announced Saturday by U.S. President Donald Trump. Right now, there is a 35% tariff on Canadian imports, non-compliant with the Canadian-U.S.-Mexico agreement, and 25 to 50% on various products, including steel, aluminum, copper, softwood lumber, and automobiles. Why don't we bring in right now Bill Carroll for this, to talk about this on this Monday morning. Really tough news to wake up to. I know that that announcement was made official on Saturday. President Trump said that he was imposing an additional 10% tariffs, and here we are on Monday. Bill.
Yeah, I mean, I took a couple of days off, and in the time I've been gone, so much has happened on this trade front with Ontario running those Ronald Reagan ads in the U.S. It just infuriated Donald Trump. And this tells you everything that makes this situation so difficult. I mean, how do you deal with a man who gets angry with Ontario and so punishes his own people by raising taxes? Because that's what's happening, right? That's what he's done. He's lashing out at his own people by making them pay more taxes on things that come from Canada. Now, this hurts our economy as well because it makes our products more expensive and so less attractive, and that can mean we sell fewer products. And I think Americans are starting to really realize that they are paying the price. I mean, behind the scenes, a lot of people, even Republicans, are grumbling about what's going on with the U.S. economy and prices going up. Their inflation numbers, for example, delayed by their government shutdown, finally came out late last week. And they're not as bad as they could have been, but inflation is certainly heading in the wrong direction there. So this is why I think we're down to, we have to fight back. I mean, I think Doug Ford, the premier, did the right thing by reminding Americans that not every Republican, that someone as beloved as Ronald Reagan, not every Republican believes that tariffs are good for the economy in the long run. We have to wait this out. I think this is where we're stuck. We have to wait it out and let Americans figure out on their own that it's not working for them, that they're the ones paying the price. Only that can motivate the U.S. president to back down in this case. I don't think there's anything we can do. Meantime, our country is fragmenting. You have the prime minister furious now with some of the premiers, reminding them that he's in charge of these negotiations, although right now negotiations look more like backing down, look more like surrendering. So we're starting to fragment as a country here. We're losing our leadership. We're losing our focus on this, and we have to be in it for the long run, because the only way we win this is when Americans stand up to their own president. There's nothing else we can do.
Thank you for that, Bill.
You guys have a good week.
You too. Remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFR 8 weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
Well, Game 3 of the World Series is tonight in Los Angeles as the Jays take on the Dodgers. And if you're looking for a place to catch the game, look no further than the Elmdale Tavern. We have Mel and Brett here to give us all the details. And before we get to this delicious game day food, give us the details about your tavern, because this is such a fun spot here in your city.
It is, yeah. It's a classic tavern. We're doing a little upscale tavern fare. We took it over, the Wales One Group took it over roughly about 13 years ago.
Okay.
We're going strong ever since.
I know it is a night spot that I used to frequent back in the day, but you do have a lively crowd. Tell us how it was this weekend, because you had the Jays game on both Friday and Saturday.
Yes, yeah. So game on, volume up, packed. Everyone was having a good time. Everyone was excited. The atmosphere is high. Energy is great. And everyone just having a good time.
Okay. Can you tell us about some of the food that you will be serving for tonight's game?
So tonight on Mondays and Tuesdays, we do our hot dog platter. So we have corn dogs, hot dogs, chili, onions, coleslaw, queso, mustard, ketchup, pub chips.
That's so many items. Walk me through it. We have our hot dogs here.
You have your hot dogs. You have your corn dogs in between those.
These are the corn dogs.
Yeah.
These look delicious and homemade, obviously.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And then it's coleslaw, onions, queso, chili, mustard, ketchup, pub chips.
Oh my goodness, this looks absolutely incredible. So you can just get a platter full of hot dogs for the table and some drinks to go with it as well?
Some quarts of 50, the old classic staple for a tavern.
Yeah.
Yes, you can get this platter. It's great for 2 or 3 people. You can also get individual hot dogs if you don't want to get a whole platter.
Okay, so if you don't want to get the whole platter, if your party's not that big, you can just go individual.
Correct.
And what are some other food items you have as well for people who are maybe like, you know what, hot dogs are my thing?
Oysters. We always have oysters. We've got burgers, got a chicken sandwich, poke bowl, lobster and shrimp roll, all that fun stuff.
And Mel, tell me what you loved about the weekend, you know, having the Jays game on.
Just the energy and the environment, having everybody in, just kind of seeing the community come together and then yell at a TV really loud.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so
Always
true.
brings smiles
And it's nice because I feel like Jays is the one team that kind of pretty much everybody in Canada roots for.
Yeah.
So you don't have like the divide or the clash, you know, when there's like a Habs-Sens game on. It's kind of like you have the crowd of half and half.
No,
It's like
just a sea of
everybody's
blue.
rooting for the Jays,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really Canada's team, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect. And why did you guys want to showcase the games? Is it important for you guys to, you know, showcase these games at the tavern?
Absolutely. Like, we are still a tavern, and we do have the TVs up for a reason, so we want people to watch them. And it's a great atmosphere to have a couple beers, have some hot dogs, have some fun, watch some baseball.
I mean, it doesn't get better than a Labatt 50 and a hot dog platter for you and all your friends while everybody cheering on the Jays game. Thank you both so much for joining us today. And really quickly, where's your location? Where are you located?
We are located at 1084 Wellington Street West in Hintonburg.
And does the party last until the late hours of the night or when the
Absolutely.
Jays game's over? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, the party continues to go on. So if you're looking for a fun spot, of course, Elmdale Tavern is where it will be. And if you have an idea for us in your morning kitchen, we would love to hear from you. Maybe you have a great chef or a local restaurant. Email us yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam this morning. A bright, sunny start to your day, a high of 10 degrees, which is average for this time of the year. It is 8:44.
Look at that gorgeous sunshine to start off your Monday. Welcome back to Your Morning Ottawa. Well, we got business people by day, band members by night. There's an event happening, and we've got Ted Carty, founder of Capo, and Michelle Krogi, executive director of Pleo, to talk about this event. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, wait, business people by day, musicians, band members by night. What's going on here?
Well, it's Capo, which is the Capital Professionals Open Mic. It's an organization that I started a while back, and with the help of some wonderful people, have brought this organization to the level it's at right now. And this is our 6th showcase, and we bring members of the business community out who have secret musical talents, and we put them up on stage, and we raise money for wonderful organizations like Pleo.
Okay, so I got to find out about Capo, and then I'm going to find out about Pleo. Well, when did that start? What does it stand for?
It stands, like I said, it stands for the Capital Professionals. It's not an actual acronym, but you know, we get through it. It started a few years ago. It was an idea I had just as a musician, as a business person who thought there were other people like myself. And the quick story goes, I was at a golf tournament, and we reached into our pockets to look for things, and we all pulled out guitar picks. And so the idea was, hey, you know what? Instead of golfing, we should all be on stage. And so that's sort of where it took from there.
Okay, so this is great because you're partnering with Capo to raise funds for Pleo. Tell us about the organization.
That's right. So Pleo Parents Lifeline, we support parents who have kids with mental health and addictions. And we're a family peer support agency, so we're all parents with lived experience supporting our own children. And we support families right across Eastern Ontario.
You did not give up on your musical dreams, which is amazing, right?
You're sort of changed them maybe a little bit.
You know, so what's it like for you being a business person and then turning around and still staying in that music when you play?
It's a little Bruce Wayne Batman, I guess. I don't know. But no, it's Look, it's something I've done since I was a little kid, and it's something I'm very passionate about, and I've recognized that a lot of people feel the same way. So,
okay. Yeah. People by day, band members by night. How can people get more information on this?
capomusic.ca is the website. Our showcase is November 7th. There are still tickets available. At the Rainbow, November 7th, Friday, November 7th. We kick things off at 7 p.m. and we have an incredible lineup of artists and bands.
The iconic Rainbow Bistro.
Yeah.
Great sound there, great venue. It's going to be a wonderful night raising funds for Pleo, Michelle. Yeah. Thank you so much. We're going to, end off this segment with a little bit of music. Who do we have here?
Well, we have Jim Harmon from Boyden and also frontman of Dead Pennies, who will be taking the stage this coming Friday, November 7th, next Friday.
Okay, Jim from Dead Pennies, take it away.
It was back in 1983. Growing up had come to me. Freedom gave up a little bit to girl. The smell of hay was on the wind. The day's last sky was coming in. We thought we were living on top of the world. And your sister was on the sea. Well, they hoped for Jubilee. And we'd all where we climb up on the low. And Lord, won't you take me down the old wharf road? Trooper was still raising hell. We had smoking tires on a blue Chevelle. The moose had cut through the sweat of those dog days. I'd mow lawns by day, we were kings at night, just cat and mouse in the Mounties lights. September, don't you take this all away. And there's a burger on a grill, well, there's a stick on a windowsill to let the breeze and the sound of bullfrogs flow. And Lord, won't you take me down the old wharf road? You see, growing up that way, it's road salt on an August day. And when it melts, it cuts down the dust. You and I both moved away, and the store's long gone all them separate ways. The brush is closed in on the railway lane, but the smell of hay is still on the wind. The day's last scow is coming in, in the best way. Not much of this has changed. Yeah, your sister was on the sea, the hope for Jubilee. And we'd all where we climb up on the low. And Lord, won't you take me down the old wharf road? Lord, won't you take me down the old wharf road? Said, Lord, won't you take me down the old wharf road?
That is so beautiful. Jim from Dead Pennies, thank you so much. He's going to be performing at Capo's open mic night at Rainbow Bistro. You want more info, go to capomusic.ca. That is simply gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, we got a beautiful day that we can look forward to. There you go. Plenty of sunshine out there. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa.
Welcome back to your Morning Ottawa. It was a jam-packed show, and of course, our
Yes.
Halloween week has started, and we have lots more to come throughout the remainder of the week.
We are looking forward to it indeed, and we're looking forward to a pretty nice sunny day as well. It's going to be great looking.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you right back here tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. You have yourself a beautiful day.